What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pablo's Toy Box Photography for another action figure review. And today we're going to be taking a closer look at NECA's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Slash and Leatherhead 2-pack. Now, I gotta say, this 2-pack was extremely hard to find. Um, yeah, they're just extremely hard to find at the local Targets. I was lucky today that one of my local Targets actually had one in stock in the back, and the guy at the electronics department was willing to go get it for me. I'm super thankful for that employee. So yeah, now I have this guy in my collection. I know NECA's really trying really hard to help us collectors out by trying to put some of these cartoon 2-packs on their website. Please don't support any of the scalpers. The hell with the scalpers. Don't support them. I don't think anybody should be paying more than $60 for these figures. Any more than that, yeah, just don't. Just be patient. It looks like NECA's trying to really help us out by putting these slowly on their website. As of today, August 14, 2020, they do have the deluxe Metalhead figure on their online store. I suggest you guys go hit that up, order it, because you have from today till next Friday to get one of those. It's an extremely awesome figure. I suggest you guys check out my review so you guys can take a look at what the figure is all about. But yes, please don't support any scalpers, man. The hell with them. NECA is trying to help us out. Just be a little patient, and you will get these figures. But enough about that. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at this box. As you can see, we have a nice large open window, and you can see the two figures inside. You have Slash on this side with all his accessories, and then we do have Leatherhead on the opposite side with all his accessories, and there's some more accessories behind them. You just can't see them through the window, but these guys do come loaded with a lot of accessories, which is pretty cool. You do have a nice illustration of Slash in the bottom left hand corner, and on the bottom right hand corner you get a nice illustration of Leatherhead. On the top you get the title Slash and Leatherhead along with the Nickelodeon logo on the left hand corner, and you do get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo on the bottom center. Now if we turn this box to the side, you get a nice promotional shot of Leatherhead, and you do get that same Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle logo on top with the Nickelodeon logo. On the back of the box, you get a nice promotional shot of the two figures, Leatherhead and Slash. And on the left side, you do get a nice synopsis of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the animated series. And then you do get to see the other 2-packs that are in this current wave. We do have the Slashed Foot Soldier with Casey Jones. You have a Bash Foot Soldier with April, and then we do have a re-release of the Bebop and Rocksteady. Some stores are starting to carry them, it sounds like. I haven't seen them myself yet, but just be patient, and hopefully NECA will put these on their online store soon enough, and we'll all be able to get our hands on them. But we do get that same Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo on top along with the title Slash and Leatherhead, and we do have that same Nickelodeon logo. On the other side, focus this guy, we do have a nice promotional shot of Slash along with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo with Nickelodeon. On the top of the box, we do got the nice Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo on the top. We do have the Nickelodeon logo on the left hand side, and along with the ages 14 and up, and the choking hazard warning, because it does have small parts, not intended for children 3 and under. On the bottom of the box, we get all the names of everybody that was a part of the people who created and sculpted and painted all these figures. And we do have some more branding on the bottom right side, and we do have the barcode, and we do have the symbol for not intended for anybody under 3 because of small pieces. It's choking hazard. So, but yep, that's pretty much for the box. So yeah, let's go ahead and break these guys out of the box, because I hate keeping my figures in boxes. So yep, let's take a closer look at these guys. Alright, here are the two figures out of the box. Now I gotta say, these figures are awesome. Love what NECA's doing with these Ninja Turtles. NECA's killing it with their movie line, their cartoon line, and their arcade line, Ninja Turtles in Time. They're doing such an awesome job. Love how they add the black line work on these cartoon uh, versions of the turtles. Uh, it really brings out that detail, and they look like they're straight out of the cartoon. It looks like NECA just literally pulled them out of the episodes, and they're just doing an amazing job. I do want to mention that unfortunately, the moment I took Slash out of the packet, he did have a broken hand. The peg broke inside his wrist. I'm not sure how that happened, but luckily I found a way to fix it, so everything's okay. I kind of I was pretty upset about it when it came out that way, because I mean, these figures are hard to find. I just didn't want to go return it and then not be able to find another figure, but I managed to fix it. So we'll take a closer look at that once we start looking at these figures closer individually. But yeah, these figures are awesome. NECA is killing it. A lot of great detail on these figures. Love the color they use, because I mean the color deco on these match pretty close to the cartoon. Yeah, these figures are awesome. Alright, let's go ahead and take a closer look at each one. Alright, let's take a closer look first at Slash. Slash has a lot of awesome detail. Love the color deco on this figure. Really matches what he looked like in the cartoon. They did such a great job with this figure. Love all that line work. Man, that line work, the black line work, just makes this figure pop even more. And it really does feel like you're playing with the figure straight out of the cartoon. NECA's doing such an awesome job. I love all the detail work. All these line works in here are sculpted on there and then painted black. This is sculpted on there. Even these little white portions of it are sculpted on there. It's not just painted white. The spikes are nicely sculpted on the shell. The shell has a lot of nice line work. The pads on his shoulders are really nice and sculpted nicely, as well as the line work, and the little rivets around there are sculpted on there and then painted black. I mean, overall, really good figure. Yeah, I'm super excited about these figures, man. Now I gotta say, this Slash, it's almost a complete reuse of the Turtles in Time Slash from the arcade. The only differences, of course, are going to be the knee pads, the gloves on his hands, and the shoulder pads. And of course, the arcade version didn't have the backpack. And of course, the head sculpt is completely different. Slash looks completely different in the video game than what he did in the cartoon series. In the game, he looked a little bit more vicious. He had that more monstrous look, which was a pretty nice look for Slash. His belt was also different. On here, you can see Slash has a purple belt with the skull, which is what he had in the cartoon. And the gloves here are nicely sculpted on there, and he does have spikes sculpted on top of each glove. And on the knee pads, he also has those purple spikes sculpted on there as well. Pretty nice. And then you can see the black bands behind there. On the arcade version, which I will bring, I'll bring him out to show a comparison of him, but his knee pads are completely different. They don't have these metal plates on there, and of course the shoulder pads are different. Let me make sure this is in focus so you guys can see the metal plate. Yeah, these rivets are pretty nicely sculpted on there, nicely painted, and so is this black line. It's sculpted on there. It's not just drawn on there. And like I said, man, the backpack does have a lot of nice detail on it. It's simple, but it has good detail on there. And this is where it on my figure, this came undone. It came apart, but that was an easy fix just with super glue, and it's actually pretty strong now. I don't need to worry about it. And I don't intend on taking the backpack off, because this is what he had on in the show. That's another closer look at the spikes. And the head sculpt, it's awesome. They did such a great job with this head sculpt. This is what he looked like in the cartoon. He looked kind of goofy. Um, in the cartoon series, he was a pet turtle that Bebop had. Um, and Bebop and Rocksteady were tired of having to do so many chores in the Technodrome, and Bebop decided to go ahead and take some mutagen and pour it over his pet Slash, and that's where Slash came from. And then they went ahead and gave him this eye patch metal band that he wears, and the weaponry that he comes, the accessories that he does come with, which I'll show in a bit. Those are all Krang weapons that he uses and utilizes, and he also uses a pair of katanas, which I'll show in a bit. But yeah, there's a lot of great detail in this head. I love the warts that he has on there, and I like how it's all highlighted, outlined in black. He's got nice detail work inside the mouth. You can see his tongue and his teeth. It would have been cool if it was had an articulated mouth, but it's alright. I mean, NECA has given us a lot already to begin with, and I think it would have been difficult to do articulation on the mouth for something this compact. But yeah, he has really nice articulation. His head does tilt side to side. Of course, it rotates all the way around. His head can look about that far up and about that far down. I do need to warm him up a bit. I am noticing that the neck joint is kind of stiff. It should be able to articulate just like the other Slash figure, but I need to probably warm that up. But he should have a little bit more range on there. Let's take a look at some of the articulation. Slash. Now, with these NECA figures, it is recommended that you heat them up either with a dryer or putting them in hot water or even boiling water for a little bit to loosen up the joints a bit. I did that a little bit, but they're still a little stiff. I still need to probably heat them up a bit more. But his arms are a little stiff on my end, but they can go up about that high right now. He does get a little bit more range once you warm him up. He has single jointed elbows. His hands do swivel, and it has a hinge that goes up and side to side. Like I said, it's a little stiff. Now, out of the packet, this is the hand that was broken, and what I did was used a metal wire. Let's see if I can focus on there. So yeah, the peg broke inside there. The peg broke off the hand. Luckily, I have a small hand drill that is used for building models, and I was able to use that to drill where the peg was at. I drilled a hole, and what was hard was to get the peg that was broken in here. It took a while to get that out, but once I got that out, I got this wire. I made a little ball at the end so that way it could stay nice and tight in there, and then I just easily slipped this in here, and there you go. I was able to fix it. I salvaged it, and I still get the articulation on his hand. I didn't lose any of that, and it still spins around, still swivels on there, which I'm really glad I was able to fix, because man, I would have been really disappointed if I had to return this, because like I said, this figure is hard to get, or this set is hard to find. Alright. Okay, his legs can spread about that far. You can do the splits. Good. You can kick forward quite a bit. The shell, front part of the shell is flexible, soft plastic. He does have double jointed knees. Pretty good range. You can kick the back of his shell pretty well. He can bring his leg that far back. And he does have a little bit of swivel on his ankle, and just a slight amount of pivot on there. Not a lot, but you can still get some nice poses done with this. Alright. Now let me go ahead and bring out the arcade Slash so we can take a closer look at both figures side by side. Alright, here we have both Slash figures that NECA has given us already. On the left side right here, of course, is the video game Turtles in Time Slash. And as you can see, the differences, they do share the same shell. Although I think actually the Slash from the cartoon shell seems a little bit bulkier than the shell on the arcade version. But the spikes are the same, just different deco. And of course the belt is different. On the arcade version he has like a utility belt with pouches. He does come with a grenade. And the insignia on this belt is the S for Slash. And the belt for Slash for the cartoon series, he has a little skull and it's purple. But the cartoon series, the belt does not wrap around the shell itself. It just wraps around his actual waist. And on the shoulder pads, you can see the difference too. This is more like 3 metal plates, and this is 1 solid plate with the rivets. And as I was mentioning earlier, you can see the hand sculpt is a little different with the gloves. The Slash from the arcade version has these long, sharp claws that come out of it, and the one from the cartoon version has just a single spike on the top of the glove. Same goes for the knee pads. The knee pads on the arcade version are little spikes. And the Slash from the cartoon series, he has these large purple spikes on metal plates. The arcade version doesn't have metal plates, they're just regular knee pads. And they share the same elbow pads, just different color. The arcade versions are purple, and on the cartoon versions they're like a darkish bluish, or a dark blue, or bluish gray kind of. They're not really black, or it might be like a dark bluish gray. And of course you can see the differences on the head sculpts. The arcade version has a more menacing look, and he has a bandana versus the metal eye patch. And of course it exposes one of his eyes, but then the other eye is covered by that patch. And the arcade version has the bandana, and you can see the bandana on the back. And Slash from the cartoon series doesn't have that. It's just a metal band around his head. And of course the Slash from the cartoon series has the backpack, which the one from the arcade version does not. Overall, these two figures are awesome. Love these two figures. Slash is such an awesome character in both the arcade and the cartoon series. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at some of Slash's accessories. Alright, let's start taking a look at some of the accessories. One of the cool accessories that came with this Slash figure is his binky. It is awesome that NECA gave us this. This little palm tree plastic little toy was his favorite toy when he was a regular pet turtle. This is what he had in his little turtle bowl that he was in. And it is cool that NECA actually gave us his binky. Because in the cartoon, this is what he only wanted the whole time. He just wanted his binky. He wanted to play with his binky. And Bebop used this against him to make sure that he would do their chores. If he wanted his binky back, he needed to do all the chores that Bebop and Rocksteady were supposed to be doing. But yeah, this is such a cool accessory that came in with Slash. I really like that they added this. It's such a great accessory. And they also included little Slash when he was a turtle. And you can recreate the little fish, the little turtle bowl with these two. Make sure this is in focus. With these two items. But yeah, this is Slash before he became the mutant turtle you see. Bebop poured some mutagen over him, and they created the Slash we have. But yeah, this is pretty neat. I love these two little accessories, and I'm so happy that NECA included these. This is such a great bonus to have. The other accessory he comes with is, of course, this large pizza that's been bitten into. Got a lot of nice little detail. It's a hard plastic, and what's pretty cool about this, you can put this in Slash's mouth, and if you put it just right, oop, it stays in his mouth pretty well. Of course, it doesn't want to do it now. Oh, there we go. And of course, you could have him holding it. Let me make sure this is focused. Yeah, it fits in his mouth pretty good. And of course, you can put it in his hands. You can put it in his hands too. And he's taking a bite out of it. But overall, this is another nice little accessory that they included. You can see all the little pepperonis on there. Pretty nice. And the other accessories that he comes with are his two swords. Now, at first, I thought these swords were a reuse of the sword that Shredder comes with in the other packs, but actually, it is a little different. It's actually a different mold. It's a different sculpt as well. It's got a lot of nice little detail here in the handle. You can see that line work sculpted in there. I think I would have preferred them to outline that in black as well, but that's not. I mean, they gave us a lot of detail on here. You can see the gray line down the middle of the blade, which makes that blade pop, and then you see the nice little black line on the bottom of the hilt. That's pretty. Yeah, both these swords are really nice, and they fit really simple in his hands. Yeah, these are really nice. I almost forgot. Slash actually comes with two more accessories. I almost forgot to mention these. He comes with this little hand blaster. The little blaster has a lot of great detail in it, a lot of nice sculpt work. Everything's sculpted on here. The front end of this blaster is really flexible on these tubes. Make sure I'm focused on here. Yeah, I would be careful not to put too much stress on these because I'm pretty sure this can break off pretty easy. Yeah, but this is a cool Krang weapon that Slash uses in the cartoon. And then he also comes with this huge rifle blaster. I don't remember how these fire in the cartoon. I need to go back and revisit the cartoons, but I do remember these weapons in there. These weapons were, of course, Krang Tech that Rocksteady and Bebop retrofitted him with. Oh, I can't say retrofitted him, but at least gave him as part of his arsenal. But yeah, this one has a lot of nice detail work on there. They did a lot of nice sculpt work on here. You can see a lot of detail sculpted in on these little sections here. All this is sculpted and then outlined in black. This is all sculpted as well. That the white areas and then where these little yellow blocks or boxes are at is all sculpted on there and then outlined in black. The grip is nicely sculpted. These little gray areas are sculpted on there and then painted. As well as the handle here. This is all sculpted in there as well. It's got a nice little trigger. It's got a nice detail back here that's sculpted on there and painted in black. And then of course the purple sections. It's got nice detail. The black lines around each section of the, what I'm assuming are the barrels are nicely painted on there. And then it's got this nice little thing on top. It is a separate piece. It's glued in there. I would be careful with this though, not to break it when you're handling it. But overall, this is a nice blaster, and both weapons fit really nice in his hands. Let me take the swords out. Just show you what he looks like with his weapon. Focus on Slash. Okay. Oh, I need to put the hand in here and repeg it. But yeah, he holds his weapons pretty well. That's the larger weapon. Take his hand off. Make it easier to pull this guy off real quick. Easier. Put the next weapon on, off camera. And then plug this guy back in here. But yeah, these weapons are pretty nice. He has a nice little set of weapons that he can use against the turtles. And that's all the accessories that Slash comes with. Alright, here's Leatherhead. Now as you can see, Leatherhead is a beast. He's a pretty big figure. This figure also has great detail with the same black outline work, which really brings out all those details. And I do like the way they do the shading to indicate the shadow side, using that a little darker green, and then he has this more bluish green color deco. But yeah, this figure is awesome. Love the details that they used in the eyes and in the face. He has a lot of nice line work. All this line work up in this, on top of his snout, is all sculpted on there and then outlined in black. The eyes are nicely sculpted, and I like the way the yellow really pops with that, that snake eye, that gator snake eye type cat eye. It really has a really nice menacing look, which is pretty great. The hat is a nice little detail. The hat does not come off, but it is a little soft around the brim of the hat. It's a nice dark red with the really like a darkish brown, almost maroon for the shadow on the backside. It's got a lot of nice detail in there. Let me bring it in a little closer. Yeah, you can see the hat. Got a lot of nice detail on the hat. And his vest is pretty detailed as well. It's a nice color. It's like an orangey brown tone. It's got a lot of nice sculpted pockets here, and his sleeves are nicely sculpted, like they're ripped, like he ripped the sleeves right off. And I like the detail and sculpt work that they gave him on his stomach area. All this is sculpted on there and then outlined in black. Man, this is such a nice figure. They did such a great job with these figures, man. I'm really blown away by all the detail that they put on these figures. Here's a look at the back of his jacket. All these lines you see are sculpted and then outlined in black. Now let's go ahead and take a little look at the articulation. Just refocus. Alright, for Leatherhead, his arms do come up about this far. He's got some good range. His arms do go all the way around. He does have double jointed elbows. His wrists do swivel around and they do hinge up and down. But like I said, I recommend heating these guys up a little bit. I think I still need to heat this up a little bit more but he has articulation there as well. He does have a waist swivel. He has a little of a crunch. Can go forward about that far. He can go back, but not too much back. His legs can kick that much forward, and they can kick about that back, and he does have double jointed knees. Now Leatherhead, his head can rotate to the side. Focus. And he does have articulation in the mouth. And he has a lot of nice great detail inside there as well. You can see the inside of the red part of his mouth and then his tongue. And then he has nice detailed teeth. Leatherhead also comes with an articulated tail. It can swivel. And it does hinge down a bit and up. It's on a ball joint. It's a ball. You just have to heat this up a bit, and once you get it on there one time, it's a little easy to come out. I recommend to be careful with these spikes on his tail, not to bring this too far up, because you can bend these and they will break off. One of them on this side that's already a little stressed out. But yeah, just be careful with the one spike, with the two spikes closer to the body, because you can bend those in there, and yeah, there's a possibility they'll break off. He has a nice belt as well. Now this belt, well, I'll talk about it when I compare it to the Turtles in Time figure. But he does have a nice little belt. It's got these little leather pieces that hang off the belt with little loops at the end. And then he has a little clip on this back side that's used to clip one of his accessories on there. Now this figure does use, it looks like it uses the same legs as Bebop, with a slight retooling, especially toward the bottom. On Bebop, he has like the torn black jeans. Leatherhead does not, and these boots are new. I haven't seen any figure with these boots. These boots are pretty big, and I'll show you the difference on the Turtles in Time as well, because they don't share the same legs and the lower body. Yeah, but overall, this is such a hefty figure, and he is top heavy. Sometimes he's a little hard to balance if you want to get him into some running poses. It takes a little while to balance this guy out. But overall, Leatherhead's a really cool looking figure. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the accessories. Now, Leatherhead does come with hands, alternative hands. He has a pair of open hands. Focus you. There we go. Yeah, he has a pair of open hands, or grabbing hands. And then he also has a slightly open hand, which is used to hold some of his accessories. And he does have a trigger finger hand for his rifle or shotgun that he has. He also comes with this bear trap device. It is articulated. You can open it up, put it on the ground, and have one of the turtles step on it, and snap. This is the accessory that clips on here on the side. It just clips on right there. That's a pretty nice little feature that this has. Just, I recommend being careful when you pull this out. Hold the belt from where the clip is at and then gently just wiggle this out, because this little clip has been known to break off. So I recommend being really careful with it. Mine has broken off. Luckily I was able to super glue it back and it's holding pretty well. Alright, look at the other accessories. He also comes with 2 crawfish grenades. Now these are nicely detailed as well. It's got a lot of nice little sculpt work. They're both exactly the same. They're painted the same. The dark orange on one side and the lighter orange on the bottom side. Now I wish there was a way to clip these on his belt, because in the cartoon he does have them on his belt. I saw someone on I think on a Facebook group, he used some thin black wire to match the black outline work on here, and he wrapped it just once around here and then made a hook, and you can do that to hook these onto his belt, which is what I'm probably going to end up doing. But yeah, these are nice little crawfish grenades that he comes with. Let me make sure this guy's focused so you can see the detail. And here's the underside one more time. And all this is sculpted work on there and then outlined in black. He comes with 2, and he also comes with his chain with a collar, and it opens up, and you could put this around the neck of the turtles or around April O'Neil's waist, I believe. If not her waist, her neck as well. No, I think actually it's around her waist. I can't remember on the promotional shots that they showed us already. And then the chain is real chain. It's a real metal chain. It's pretty cool. This is a nice little accessory. Comes with him as well. And he also comes with this with this rope. On one end of the rope it has a noose, and you could use this to tie it around one of the turtles. And then you have the rest. I mean, this is a pretty long rope. It's a pretty thick one. It's a pretty nice accessory. It's real rope. Really flexible. I wish it kind of had maybe a wire inside. Not too strong of a wire, but enough to be able to, do certain poses. But overall, this is a really nice rope. And the last accessory, well, no, I'm sorry, not the last accessory. The next accessory he comes with is this really big net. It's a huge net. Really soft material, durable. This is a fun little prop to use to capture the turtles or anybody inside it. It's a nice little addition to have. And for Leatherhead's final accessory is this shotgun type weapon. I don't remember I remember seeing the weapon. Like, I remember the weapon itself in the cartoon. I don't remember how it fired. Because it does have these ketchup type bottles at the front end, which I think it's Cajun sauce bottles, if I'm not mistaken, because he is from the bayou. He's a swamp gator. But I believe, yeah, these were Cajun sauce bottles that came out of this, some Cajun sauce type of liquid. I think it was liquid to shut out of this. I can't remember. It's been so long that I haven't seen the episode with Leatherhead in it. I need to go back and revisit those. But yeah, this weapon has a lot of nice little detail. It's got some nice scoped line work on the bottom. It's got a nice little trigger. Unfortunately, the hammer on this gun on mine was broken in the package, but it doesn't look too bad. But I need to try to find it and try to glue that back on there. But there was a little hammer here. But here's the stock. Make sure it's focused. There's not much detail in the stock itself. It would have been cool if it had like a wood texture to it, but in the animated series, it didn't have texture on there. There was no line work or anything. So NECA stayed true to how this weapon looked in the cartoon, which is pretty cool. Yep, that's pretty much all the accessories for Leatherhead. Now let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Leatherhead from the Ninja Turtles in Time. Alright, now here are the two Leatherheads. Here's the Leatherhead from the Ninja Turtles in Time and the cartoon version. Now, both figures share the exact same upper torso. They share the same arms. They do actually come with the same set of hands. It's the same vest, of course. It's recolored in two different decos. This is the arcade version and this is the cartoon. The hats are the same. There's more detail in the cartoon version than the arcade one. Only because the cartoon ones have the black outlines. The arcade versions do not have that. They have that the more pixel look, but they don't have any of the black outline work. and of course they share the same tail and same articulation. Where it changes is from the waist down. Now the legs do seem to be the same legs as Bebop, especially from the thighs, but from the knees down is where it changes. And as you can see, the cartoon version sits or stands taller. You can see where the waistline is at. Let me move the belt down because they do have the same belt, but the other belt's underneath this. Now they share the same belt, but as you can see, the waist is a lot higher on the cartoon version than the arcade version. His legs are a little shorter. I'm not sure why, but because it does, like I said, it does share the same thighs, same knees, but below the knee is where it changes. This length seems to be shorter than over here, and it's a different tooling on the bottom parts of the legs. And of course the boots are different. The Leatherhead from Turtles in Time shares the same boots that Rocksteady has, just in the more arcade deco. And then of course the boots are different on the cartoon Leatherhead. These are a lot bigger and bulkier, which supports his weight a little better than this one. This guy is hard to balance, especially to get him in the running poses. He's extremely hard to balance. You can get him there, just take some work. But because of the small boots and the small legs, and as you can see, he just fell over right now. Yeah, this guy, he'll stand, keep his pose for a little bit, but he'll tip over. But yeah, these are the two slashes that are currently out right now. We have the arcade version and the cartoon, and and they do share the same hands. The only thing that the arcade version doesn't come with all the other accessories. He doesn't come with the crawfish bombs, his Cajun shotgun, the bear trap, the net, the rope, nor the chain with the collar. The one thing he does come with that the cartoon version doesn't come with is this knife. This is the only accessory that the arcade version has that's different from this one. And of course he doesn't come with all the extra goodies that the cartoon one has. Yep, that's pretty much it for the comparison between these two Leatherheads. Alright, overall these figures are awesome. Really love these figures. I'm so happy that I have them in my collection now. NECA is killing it with these turtle cartoon lines, and of course their movie and arcade. But the movie, the cartoon line is just, they just have so much more detail because of the black line artwork that they have there. I mean, they look like you're playing with the figures in the cartoon. That extra line detail work, the black line, just makes it pop. Like, I can't find words to describe how awesome that is. I mean, just look at the figures. They look amazing. NECA's doing an amazing job, and I'm super excited to have them, and I'm glad that NECA is trying to find ways to help us collectors to obtain these figures without having to worry about paying crazy scalper prices. Just be patient, guys. Do not support scalpers, especially when they're charging 3 to 4 times the amount of the value of this set. That's just ridiculous. I would not support that. Join some Facebook groups. There are some Facebook Ninja Turtle collector groups. Find them, hit them up, ask anybody if anyone's has an extra set and is willing to sell it for, you know, retail price plus shipping, or if they're locally in your area, see if you can meet up with them for a trade, or, you know, to purchase it off of them. But whatever you do, just don't support the scalpers, guys, and just be patient. NECA is trying to find ways to put these on their website. They already did it with the Metalhead. I'm pretty sure they're going to do the same with these 2-packs. The next 2-pack that's coming out, I believe August 28th, is going to be the April O'Neil and Bash Foot Soldier. That's going to be another fun one to try to hunt and find, but I'm hoping by that time maybe NECA will have that as an option to buy online. If not, maybe we can, some of us can get it through the Target website, which is, yeah, it's a nightmare trying to get any of these figures on their website. But overall, yeah, these figures are awesome. I highly recommend finding these figures if you can. They're fun to play with, fun to pose, fun to photograph. I have a lot of photographs that I'm taking, that I'm going to take. I will have a few of them at the end of the video. But if you guys like the review, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I will be putting up more videos, more content. Please leave comments in the bottom. Let me know what you guys thought about the video. If there's any improvements I need to do. I like all sorts of feedback, even if it's negative feedback. I mean, you're not gonna hurt my feelings, but any feedback is great. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. So until next time, guys, peace.